Saskia Horley, thanks so much for joining us. We're up here at winter training at Finchley. Saskia, first and foremost, huge congratulations. I know Mark Broom's named you as captain for this coming year. How proud does that make you feel?
Oh, I think it's a massive honour. I think any sort of side that you get to represent is an absolute honour, and being a part of this group for the last couple of years and seeing the growth already, it's a massive honour.
Obviously, the women's game is going through enormous change at the moment. We're starting out life in this new era as a Tier 2 side. There's a lot to prove as a Tier 2 side. We've obviously got Mark Broom at the helm. Mark's obviously travelled this journey with Sunrisers before. What's it been like working with Mark over the winter? I know we've been up here at Finchley. You're now on the grass nets at Merchant Taylors. How have you found that last few month process?
I think it's been really good. I think the biggest thing is the increase in sort of structure that we've had. Obviously, it helps with the competition being a little bit more structured as well for us. But his professionalism and his experience that he's had with multiple sides is definitely shown, and I know a lot of the girls are getting around it, and there's definitely a lot more banter in the group, which is really nice. But then also when we're putting our heads down and really getting into the hard work.
Massive year ahead, of course. There's some real highs to look forward to. You've got a double header to look forward to at Lords on the 29th of May. We'll obviously be hoping Middlesex members and fans come out in support of the girls on that one. How much are you looking forward to playing at the home of cricket alongside the men on the same day?
No, I think it's outstanding. I think it's a great step forward for the women's game in this country. Obviously, back in Oz, I've experienced, I guess, having double headers as with the men as far as in the Big Bash, and it's always a great experience, whether it's, fans coming out early or even then being able to support the men after and almost take in that environment as well. No, it's a great honour, and, we want to keep on building the game, and that's definitely one way that it definitely needs to kind of come together.
Absolutely. Another doubleheader, of course, at Merchant Taylors, and then you've got a number of games at Radlett, which you're using primarily as your base. I don't know whether you've personally played there before, but I guess historically there's been Mill Hill, there was Haberdashers quite a lot last year. How much are you looking forward to kind of making Radlett your base moving forward?
I think it's outstanding, as I said about the structure before. Like, by us having, I guess, home grounds now, we can kind of make them a fortress, as they always say. I've played at Radlett once or twice, obviously when I was with Sunrisers for a few games. So, it's a great venue, and we're hoping we can obviously make it our sort of home and very much somewhere that other teams kind of are a bit worried to come to, and proper make it our home.
Having experienced life in Sunrisers, Saskia, obviously, as I said earlier, we start life as a Tier 2 side. There are 8 Tier 1 sides this coming year. How big is the gap between Tier 2 and Tier 1, and what do we need to do to kind of close that gap? Obviously, we've got aspirations ourselves to become a Tier 1 side, certainly ahead of the 29th deadline. How far do we need to go, and what progress do we need to make together?
Yeah, I think it's a big step in the first place now to become a Tier 2 from I guess probably real amateur cricket before, and a lot of people have still got other things going on in their lives that pay their bills and things like that, and that's still a thing here. So I think it's taken a step forward, but I still see a big gap between 1 and 2, just because of the way the structure is, more than all the girls are working probably harder than what some of the Tier 1s are, just because of the commitments they have outside of cricket, that they don't do this professionally, which I put my hands up for some of the girls who work full time and then have to rock up to training at 6 p.m. And they're tired, but they rock up here and they put everything into it. So I think there's a big gap as far as the way the structure is, but as far as effort is concerned, I don't see a massive difference, and I can already see the girls have excelled in the winter, let alone once we get on grass and everything like that.
Absolutely. I get a real sense of excitement from the girls within and around the group. They're kind of starting this journey on day one here. There's a hell of a lot ahead of us. But what are your hopes for this season in year one? And obviously moving forward, what do you hope will the future look like?
Oh, I think I'm very competitive as a person in life as well as cricket. So, and there's a lot of competitive girls around us. I think we're pushing each other for selection and things like that. And we want to win as many games as we can as possible. That's without a question. But there's also an understanding that some teams might have players who played Tier 1 or regional cricket last year, and they might just be too good. But I see this group coming together already, let alone on a game that matters. It's going to be so exciting to see us all come together and enjoy each other's company, and then also, maybe surprise some teams that don't expect it. That game against Essex at Chelmsford is going to be a massive one, and I know there's so many, all of us, without a doubt, already excited for that game.
Good to hear. Saskia, last one for me. I know Mark Bream's got some tough decisions to make on the squad selection front. He's kind of whittling it down and has been over the winter period. How confident are you, looking at the girls within the group that will be playing under you, how confident are you that we're ready for this?
Oh, 100%. I think, we can be really, really competitive in this Tier 2 competition this year. But also there's almost the unknown, which I think we've always been under the unknown a little bit. Me having only been with the group for a short period of time compared to some of them. But I think we always kind of relish sort of a challenge, and being an underdog, I think, is a massive thing I find within this group is, you can underestimate us, but we're really here to kind of prove a point and go, we're really ready to take it on.
Sounds awesome. Well, look, Saskia, huge good luck. I hope it all goes well, and here's to a good year ahead.
Thank you very much.